Hello and welcome to the channel. The Department of State Services DSS told the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja that the suspended Central Bank of Nigeria CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele is a flight risk and will run if granted bail. Emefiele is challenging his continuous detention in courts and alleged that he has been denied access to his family and lawyers. Details coming up. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Emefiele will flee if granted bail. DSS OAGF tells court. The Department of State Services told the Federal Capital Territory High Court on Tuesday that suspended Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele will flee the country if granted bail. The Attorney General of the Federation also supported the argument of the DSS, describing Emefiele as a flight risk. The former head of the Apex Bank is challenging his detention by the DSS and denying him seeing his family members and lawyers. Emefiele was suspended by President Bola Tinubu and subsequently detained by the DSS on Saturday, June 10, 2023. At the resumption of hearing on Tuesday, both DSS and OAGF stated this in separate counter-affidavits filed in a fundamental rights enforcement suit by the suspended CBN chief. In its own affidavit, the OAGF dismissed the speculation that Emefiele was being held for wrist-related crimes. It also said he was not being victimized for his involvement in politics and the botched Naira redesign policy. The OAGF said issues of regime financing and fraudulent activities are not part of the grounds for the arrest and detention of the applicant. The respondents have not violated the applicant's right to live in any way. His life is not in danger. The respondent did not subject the applicant to any judicial adjudication to warrant the allegation of denial of a fair hearing. With the remand order issued by a court of competent jurisdiction, the said violation of the applicant's right to freedom of movement does not arise. The respondent did not subject the applicant to any torture, the details of which have been provided. The DSS on its part said that Emefiele was being held pursuant to an order of a competent court. It added that the suspended CBN boss was arrested upon reasonable suspicion of committing acts which constitute a criminal breach of trust, incitement to violence, criminal misappropriation of public funds, economic sabotage, economic crimes of national security dimension, and undermining the security of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. A senior advocate of Nigeria, Tijani Ghazal, who represented the OAGF, urged the court to dismiss the suit, arguing that Emefiele's allegation of unlawful detention was unfounded. Mr. Tijani said the suspended CBN governor was being detained on the order of an FCT Chief Magistrate's Court. He told the court that the OAGF, listed as the first respondent, was challenging the jurisdiction of the court to hear the case. The Sun argued that Emefiele's arrest and detention were administrative decisions of an arm of the executive arm of government. He stressed that a court's jurisdiction is determined by the relief sought by an applicant. After entertaining arguments from parties, Justice Hamza Muazu adjourned until July 13 for a ruling. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. Meanwhile, the Department of State Services DSS said the agency has never denied the suspended Central Bank of Nigeria CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele access to his family and lawyers. The spokesman of the agency, Dr. Peter Afunanya, disclosed this in an article titled, "The DSS operates within its mandates." According to Afunanya, the celebration of the news of a court order to allow Emefiele's lawyers and family access to him was quite unnecessary. He said he was never denied access. Ever since he was taken into custody, his family has continually accessed him. Same with medical officials. The impression that the service is going to act on the prompting of the court is not correct. Afunanya, who alleged the media ambush against the service, called out some newspaper houses for their editorials pertaining to the service recently, which he referred to as a chat job. The DSS spokesperson stated, "It did not seem that the editorials which sought the reforms of the DSS or to criticize it for its public statements or actions on various subject matters of national security concern were, by any means, an accident or a coincidence. It looked every inch planted or organized. It is a hard-shell job, or so it seemed. The judgment that the service is excessively public or ubiquitous missed the point. The papers manifested predictable bias and patterns," he said. According to him, considering the warped mentality that triggered write-ups in the media against the service, it will be unsurprising to witness an upsurge in malicious articles, criticisms, and baseless attacks in the public space following the investigations of Messrs. Godwin Emefiele and Abdulrasheed Bawa, among other flimsy matters. He said certain groups and people would come up with frivolous allegations against the service and its leadership. These entities may also exploit unpatriotic members of the service to spread falsehoods, propaganda, and hate in order to project the organization in a bad light. Given their reach and war chest to mobilize forces against the government and its key officials, the adversaries may intend to cause distractions to the ongoing investigations as directed by the C&C. However, the service will not depose its professionalism for cheap backlash, nor discharge its duty with prejudice or fear, he said. He said the DSS will remain unshaken and professional in carrying out its duties. It recommits to diligently operate, as always, within the confines of the law and to uphold the fundamental rights of all Nigerians. The media must, as the first estate of the realm, remain balanced, accurate, impartial, and accountable. To sustain the deliberate misguidance of the public with any form of misconceptions is detrimental to nationhood. Therefore, to deepen the expected contributions, seeking veracity is not only ethical, but obligatory. That should not be asking for too much, Afunanya said. That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time, bye.